Hello, and welcome to the latest episode of Through the Pages. If you like the type of books that I've been reviewing on here, shoot me a little thumbs up or a subscribe. Let me know you're out there. I'm really enjoying this YouTube channel. Today, I have a book that I devoured. Nine Perfect Strangers, Liana Moriarty. So, I think like a lot of people, I discovered this story through the Hulu series. I just started watching that, and I got a few episodes in, and then I noticed the like based on a novel by part in the opening credits, which are beautiful, by the way, the colors. But I was like, I'm gonna read the book. Kept going on the series. I was just like, I can't stop. It's so good. I didn't realize it was so short. It's only 7 episodes, so I think I got to episode like 5, and that's when I like pulled the plug. It's like, okay, read the book. And it was an interesting place to stop in the series, and this is not necessarily going to be a review of the series so much, is that this story, I saw a friend post about the book and then saying like, if you are liking the series, do read the book. And I was like, okay, that was a really good encouragement, because she said it goes a lot deeper on the people, which in a way it does, but in a way it also does not. So I really liked the difference. And so this book, it is, and this is as always no spoilers on the novel reviews, but basically 9 people go to this wellness center for a little time away, a little recharge, recalibration, not knowing fully what they're getting into, and some of the protocols are a little out there. So it goes a little bit deeper on their past of what brings them to the place, but then the story in this book of how that goes is very group-centric. It's about how the group moves through what's happening at this retreat. And then the woman there, played by Nicole Kidman, I only say that just to give you the vibe of her, of this like perfect kind of crazy-eyed lady. And so I couldn't tell you I liked one more than the other. It was so strange, where usually when you have a novel and a TV or a book, or a TV or a movie version of it, it's just the same thing but more depth in other areas, where the story went a completely different way. And so I really enjoyed kind of how the series kept it more individual. I felt like that it allowed me to learn more about the people, and because it's a book about alternative forms of therapy, what drew me to reading the book so quickly was that you had a better sense of why they sought the therapy. And I felt that that was very important. And that thread is what continues deeper in the series. Whereas with the book, once you have enough, then you're kind of with how the group is going through this group experience. Both phenomenal, but it's awesome. It's almost like having a sequel to it, but simultaneous. And so I have not read her super popular book, Big Little Lies, but I saw the HBO show. Not to make this a full TV review, but yeah, I do love a good TV or movie version of a book. And so I think I would be one who, if they said like there's a new Liana Moriarty book coming out, wouldn't have gravitated towards it, because there's a certain point where I think authors are like so big or designed for TV and movies, so to speak, that it's almost a little bit of a turnoff. And I was so glad I came to this in the way that I did, but then also am just kind of amazed at how responsibly she held the delicate subject of psychedelic therapy, and also just meditation, all the other kind of accents around it, be that nutrition or you know, like kind of the healthy eating, which I'm certainly into. And like, it was very accurate. It's like seeing like something set in olden times that's very period accurate, and like that, it was satisfying to someone who has genuine intrigue in this stuff. That so often we see even something like microdosing being considered this like wild and crazy thing, only like a super wealthy CEO will do it, it'll be laser focused all day, and like it's not all so bonkers. Like some of the stuff, it really makes sense. It honestly, various forms of psychedelic therapy have been very helpful to me in my life, and so I was it's not like the first episode, which was my first interaction with this story, said right out of the gate, like, they're going to use psychedelics. Like, it came on slow, and as it did, I was like, okay, this is, yeah. And I had a sense maybe like, are they going there? And like, it was just handled so well. It was really kind of satisfying in that way, that I guess it was equally satisfying that it was handled well and that it wasn't mishandled. So, because so many people, probably more so through the series, this will be their first glimpse at psychedelic therapy. Now, the book doesn't go as deep into that element of it, though it's a big part of it, but it's also, I think what's represented in the show handles that subject better than how it's done in the movie, in the book, because the book is more about sort of like how diabolical the one running the place is, which is, you certainly don't want to your setting to be diabolical by any means when you're going through those sorts of medicines, but I think collaboratively people would have a very good understanding of a concept that may be very new to them, but I find to be very important and hopefully going to be a bigger and bigger part of our society as the years go. But I liked this book. It's similar in a way to when I just reviewed Cloud Cuckoo Land, where each chapter is kind of a different person. And so it bobs around and it makes a kind of a thicker book not only go fast, but feel like so fresh, not only because of the different perspectives, but the styling of each chapter. So that is something I found really interesting in here, is that I wish I knew the literary terms for like the different narrator perspectives, but it's basically like, you know, everything from their perspective in terms of like the speech and who they're communicating with, but then there is like a non-sentient narrator. It's not them talking in their head, but it's styled in their vantage point. So like the humor of it a little bit, or like so it just felt like every chapter was very like catered to that character in a way that it almost felt like 9 different writers. And I really enjoyed that, and it felt like that would take a lot of conscious effort almost, or understanding that you're going to approach it in that way. And it just felt very honestly like masterful in that writing sense. So the book itself was supremely impressive. Just again, like Cloud Cuckoo Land, one of my top 10 books I've read all year, probably in the top 5. And to read 2 of those in the same week was just like, God damn, I love novels. But yeah, so this it's incredible. If you've read the series and thought like, oh, I don't need to read that, or I'll read it like way down the line when the story's kind of faded a little bit, like, don't, like, get right into it. It's awesome. And I found all the characters very interesting, and their reasoning for coming to a therapeutic place like this, and it just helped to deepen a wonderful story, honestly, in whatever way that goes. There were some things that the TV show did better. There were some things the book did better. I would suggest both to pretty much everyone. But yeah, the home run. And so my question to you, I always try to like leave a question for comments. If you've read any other Liana Moriarty books, what do you think of them? Are there others besides Big Little Lies I should check out? Any info on her writing? Because like honestly, the writing in this was really impressive, and I would definitely dig more of it. So, thank you for tuning in. Hope you have a nice holidays.